just to get off the beaten track of Lou Reed and Rock and Roll Animal for a minute. In the Steve Hunter solo in Vicious, when I was talking about that, I said I'm going to do this in 2 bits, and it's probably a solo that lasts about 30 seconds. So you could say surely you can play that in one pass. But there's a lot of information in it. There's a lot going on in it, and it jumps over different positions of the neck as well. So for me, I thought it'd be better to say, here's what he plays in the first half of his solo, you know, get comfortable with that, especially this. Especially that section, that lick rather. And you know, I was trying to look for an example, and the example that I always give for this is Thin Lizzy's Waiting for an Alibi, because most solos are in 4 bite-sized chunks. You know, like obviously Stairway. You know, there's one part. You could learn that the first night, and then the next night, etc, etc, right? Most solos are like that. Eric Clapton's solo in Crossroads is like that. His solo in Love Can Build a Bridge is like that. Elliot Easton solo in either Just What I Needed or My Best Friend's Girl are like that. You can take a lick at a time rather than it being a conscious stream of thought. Even you know, one of my favourite solos of all time, Ray Gomez solo in the live version of School Days. That's how I learned that. Was a bit at a time, you know, starting with a that's how I learned that solo, just that line first and then the next line in, etc, etc. And the example that I always think of is Thin Lizzy's Waiting for an Alibi, which you probably know goes right. Waiting for an Alibi. Now, Scott Gorham plays a sensational solo in Waiting for an Alibi, and it's in 4 bite-sized chunks. So if you wanted, you could take 4 nights and just the first night. You know, we've all got restrictions on how long, how many hours, how many whatevers we can play guitar for. So say you had 30 minutes a night that you could sit with the guitar, pop on the CD, play along with it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with, like, the first night, just trying to get Scott's intro lick under your finger, and you could do the same with it, you know, all the harmonies at the end. Just do one, figure out the harmony to it, and there are 2. Next night do the next one, whatever, maybe do a 5-minute brush up on what you learned the night before. But you know, the Steve Hunter one, I think that would work. And the example, as I say, that I give, I'm just going to grab a mouthful of tea, and the example that I always give when I'm talking about this to anyone is Waiting for an Alibi. Now, Scott Gorham takes his solo. It's on the Black Rose album with him and Gary Moore on guitar. And he plays at least 2 absolute beauties on that album. The other one being Got to Give It Up, where Scott is sensational, as is Gary. And Waiting for an Alibi, Scott gets his solo because of the layout of Phil Lynnett's chords. You know, the C sharp to the E, and then you know it really suits someone who, you know, who likes playing off a major key, and that is Scott. You know, so your scale could be, you know, C minor 5-note scale, or an E major 5-note scale, which you'll notice are the same notes, right? So Gary is. Now, quick thing about this: if you're playing that song and you're playing the Gary part, play it like your life depends on it. Do not stand there going, when's my bit coming? When's my solo coming? When's my solo? And treading water. Because, you know, if it were me, if someone's playing that solo, I would be trying to make the backing as supportive as possible and play it as if my life depended on it, because I expect that person to do the same when I'm soloing. And I think that's a pretty good rule of thumb. There's a really good explanation of that by Danny Johnson in a book about Rick Derringer, Rory Gallagher, Stevie Marriott and Robin Trips. Fantastic book. And Danny explains how Rick explained to him what it means to be a good rhythm player. So, sermon over, off the soapbox. Scott solo, right? So it's in 4 bits. It's a great thing to solo, isn't it? Right? So Scott comes in and plays right? Real Scott Gorham, and it's got a little muting bit. And it's Scott. Got a great shape. There's part 1. Gary's. Right, so we've got that first solo. Right, now that note, I ended it with a C sharp, that sounds an E. That note leads you perfectly into that line, right? Now, you'll sometimes see people go, or what actually plays it. So it's a 4-note lick, so you'd have to go. And if you play that lick, unplugged, with someone near and dear to you there, after about, it's not 20 minutes, after 2 minutes, you're going to drive them around the bend. But if you're in a room on your own, there is nothing to stop anyone going. To get that lick, right? So far we've got Scott played that, so we've got 2 parts. And you see sometimes he varies it and ends on her. Next line is it's so Scott it hurts. This is part 3. Now, you see, after the first night, you go. You stop there. Second line. Stop there. Third night. Now, you may be thinking, I could listen to it in the car and play this whole solo in one go. Just pick up a guitar and go. Good for you. That's great. Most of us can't do it, right? So part 3 is coming off this major scale. And the first part, so that's E to E flat. And it's a pull off. Very much like Scott plays in Fool's Goal. He played a lot in that style, in that era of Lizzie. So you've got up to C sharp. So, we're mapping out this E major scale. That's the lick we're looking to play. Right, so slowly that is up to the C sharp, then this, which is off the A flat and A, and then this bit. Now that goes by in a heartbeat, but you actually play sooner. You sometimes hear, but I think it goes. So now we've got 3/4 of the solo. So if you're playing in a bar and played that, And then, you know, for part 4, where, you know, nobody would really care. You know, lots of people do it. And you've got 3/4 of it right. But if you've got 3/4 of it right, let's get 4/4 of it right. Final lick, Scott goes right up to here and bends the B and goes. Right, so that's just a B bend. It's actually, you know, if you go down organ, and this is right before that bit. So again, we're coming off the 5th, but it's up here. Get a shaking it, and we end on the tonic, never a bad thing. And then we're going into the twin lead thing with Scott and Gary. So that's 4 bits, bend to B, and then on this E. Thematically, that solo holds together absolutely beautifully. It just really, it sounds great. It's got a swagger to it. It's got a vibe to it. It's a lovely choice of notes. And for the purpose of what I'm saying here, it's in 1, 2, 3, 4. So by all means, on the first night you're trying to learn it, get the first lick. On the second night, go back and make sure, how did that start? Oh, it started like that, you know, and then go to that lick. And before you know it, you'll have the 4 bits. You can go into your band rehearsal and say, guys, a couple of days before, how about playing Waiting for an Alibi by Thin Lizzy? And when it comes to the solo, you can play it and it'll be rooted to it.